there, Trekkers and Trekkies. So, if you were to take a Star Trek character and place him into a fictional world where a man named Waldo had disappeared, and then created a scenario based off of the title of Star Trek 3, where you needed to find that missing Star Trek character, you might be looking for The Search for Spock, a Star Trek book of exploration by Robb Pearlman. Okay, so if you, I don't, I should actually look that up. When did the Where's Waldo book start? Okay, so the first Where's Waldo came out in 1987, which would explain why I kind of enjoyed them, but wasn't really into it. I remember my sister was really big into them, because that means that the first book would have came out when she was like 3 or so. So that would have been about the time. I don't know what age group they ever really intended for those books to be targeted at. But I remember that, especially I would get it and, help her. That was the big thing, is that especially on some of the ones that she was having trouble with finding, I would help her. Well, they made a highly illogical parody. And you guys, if y'all watch my videos regularly, you know how I feel about parodies. They need to be funny. And this one is actually, there's some good humor to these. I have enjoyed looking at these pictures, the art, which the illustrations are by Craig Boldman. I don't know how you technically have a writer on a book like this where, you have to, because each page has this little section up here that tells you about what you're seeing in the picture, and some of the other things to look for, which this book does also include. Let me flip to the last page real quick. It has the list of the other things to look for in each picture. For example, on that first one that we were looking at, look for Dr. McCoy and, the tough kid, Captain Kirk, all this other stuff is supposed to be in this picture somewhere. And obviously Spock is somewhere here as well. I'm not going to go pointing out where stuff is. I'm just going to kind of let y'all look at these real quick. We're just going to take a quick flip through the book so you can get an idea of what this is like. This is a glut of Gideons. I'll be honest, this one, this one's fairly easy. I have found Spock in all but one of these. When we get to that page, I'll point it out. I still don't know where the crap Spock is. And the sad thing is, it probably should be the easiest one, but for some reason, I don't know if it's my neurodivergent mind, if do I need to take my glasses off to find him? Love this. The tribbles being everywhere, which of course the great thing about this one, we do have Captain Sisko, and Dax is somewhere around here. Anyways, so you got the Deep Space Nine cast in there. You've got replete with Romulans, so you got Spock is hiding out here with the Romulan convention of some sort. Don't really know what that's about. But, good for the Romulans. They should have their parties, I suppose. Voluminous Villains. This is a good one. This is we're on the bridge of the Enterprise, and it's just filled. Of course, there's a ton of Klingons for some reason. You got Harry Mudd. You got the mirror version of Spock. We got Khan is sitting in Kirk's chair. There's the glowing ghost dude. I can never remember that villain's name. Of course, Apollo being giant. I'm sure there's so many that I'm not going to point out. Somebody's going to be like, you didn't point out the such and such. Well, I'm not trying to. The horrible salt vampire. I'll point that one out before I turn the page. This one was actually a little bit tough. It's Running Out of Space. I do love. We've got the Enterprise, of course, but we've also got the NX-01 Enterprise. Got V'ger. Look at that, Deep Space Nine. You expect to see, the classic ships, but, down here we got Voyager. There. We got, of all things, the Narada from the 2009 Star Trek film. Like, oh, okay. Of course, a Borg cube. And I think this is supposed to be the Vengeance from Star Trek Into Darkness. But of course, if you look at the shadows here, we've got a few other ships that look familiar to you. I love this. Of course, the jet from one of the classic episodes, and I can't remember. It's the one where they travel back in time and accidentally pick up the pilot and blah, blah, blah. Fun one there. Do enjoy it. This is them on the Shore Leave planet, which has got a whole lot of it's got a whole lot of just fairy tale stuff, Alice in Wonderland stuff. It's just a mixed hodgepodge. Got everybody hanging out in the mess hall, eating dinner, sort of a Journey to Babel kind of scene, except we do have quite a few other guests. Obviously we've got Sarek here talking with the Tellarite ambassador. And yes, I do see Karen and what's his name. Again, there's all kinds of people in this scene. I'm not going to point everything out. I do love this little bit here of the various women who are all mad at Kirk. That's hilarious. This is a scene on Vulcan. Apparently every person in the Star Trek universe needed to show up on Vulcan, including the guy from Taxi Driver. I'm sorry, it looks like the character from Taxi Driver is a Vulcan. We've got history repeating itself. We've got the Wells. We've got the Guardian of Time, the Guardian of Forever. If you like these kinds of books, you will absolutely love this. And apparently they all went to a Star Trek convention. This is another good one because we do get some Next Gen and Deep Space Nine stuff mixed in here, which is fun. Like there's a Mr. Worf right there in the fold right there. Let's see. The Crowded Side of Paradise. This is the Paradise Planet. And here we go. This is one page. If somebody else has this book, can you point me in the direction of Spock? Because, watch, I'm probably going to find him while I'm looking at it now. I can't find Spock. This is a range of red shirts in which we see tons of dead security officers, a few Klingons scattered about. This is a little grotesque. Thankfully, this is a book written for adults, but kids would get a kick out of seeing all the dead people in red shirts too, I'm sure. But Spock is supposed to be in here somewhere, and I don't know. Unless this is his boots, and I'm missing that somehow. I don't know where Spock is in this picture. I have found him on every other page, including the Academy graduation. not even going to bother pointing out anymore. We're just going to flip through. We've got a concert, which this was pretty fun. We got Data over here playing his violin. Disappointingly, we don't have Chief O'Brien playing his cello. I was like, come on. But I believe, yes, there's Commander Riker playing his trombone. It's appropriate. And that is it for the search for Spock. This has just been a delightful book to look through if you are a Star Trek fan, especially original series. You will enjoy this, seeing all of the little Easter eggs for every show, plus the ones for Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, so forth. It's worth it to have, and this is another fairly new book. I want to say this just came out the last couple of years. Trying to find, where is the date? 2017. Man, what is with me and not knowing about books for years till after they've come out? If you'd have said, when did this book, I'd have been like 2019, 2020. No, 2017. Man, I don't find out about books as frequently anymore. Where's my people telling me about cool books? If you know of a cool book, drop it down in the comments. Hopefully I can check it. If you want to send me a cool book, drop it down in the comments. Well, private message me. We'll talk about it. Anyways, thank you so much. This has been fun. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Go make something. If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell icon. If you want to support me, you can find me on Patreon or go over to Zazzle for prints of my artwork, t-shirts, and other cool stuff. If you're still here, why? Do you want to jam out?